Record.
Let me know when you get the keys, okay? And we'll go look at it.
All right, you guys, we are going to officially start our first ever Women of Wonder Zoom. So basically, the first thing, you guys, is this is the whole Zoom idea is something that Roya has been doing with me for 6 out of the last 12 months. And what Mastermind is, the purpose of Mastermind is to, that's okay, Terry, if you need to mute your stuff, you can, down in the lower left-hand corner. The purpose of Mastermind.
I got you for a minute.
Okay. There we go. Okay. Mastermind purpose is to attack a specific thing. For instance, sometimes in Mastermind, one of the things that we redid was we redid Roya's website for her. We looked with her at most of the components of the website and said, what needs revamped, what needs updated, what needs taken out, what needs totally redone, and how should it look? Unfortunately for us, once we got that done, that's been probably 4 or 5 months ago, the lady who has the website, it crashed, the whole thing. So that's why we're not currently using it. But that's one of the things that we looked at. Some of the other things that we've looked at with her is fine-tuning things like the set sheet and stuff like that. So let's see, Kate, if we can get you on here. Okay, I think we're going to load you on here in just a second. So Kate, as you're getting on, if you can hear me, let me know. But in the lower left-hand corner of your screen, you're going to see there's a microphone and there's going to be a video. So you want to click those to either mute or unmute. Obviously, we'd like to see your beautiful face with the video on. And then mute, if you have background noise or whatever, you can mute it and then just unmute it as you want to chime in. So the purpose of our Mastermind now, when I decided that this is one thing, one avenue I wanted to concentrate on this year, I needed to look at who was going to be part of my Mastermind. So you three, Kate, Jennifer, and Terry, are the ones who I invited. So congratulations, because I didn't invite just everybody. I didn't even send an invite out to anybody else. I just looked at you three because you guys are high achievers, and I value your input, and so does everyone else in the unit. So one of the things that I want to look at is our meetings. I want to be able to dig in and examine like basically every detail of our meetings over the next few months. So we're going to do this every Monday night. It's going to be the same link. So you can save this link under your favorites on your computer, and every Monday night at 8 o'clock we're going to jump on. I would encourage you guys to grab a notebook and keep it just for Mastermind. So I started a new notebook just to keep notes on everything that we're doing. And because hopefully we can just jump in every week and we won't have to spend a ton of time reviewing things. So tonight we may not take the whole 40 minutes just because it's the first time and I haven't really given you guys a lot of think time as to what to do. So something here real quick on my end. Okay. Oh, there you are, Kate. Yay, see you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, and I can hear you too. Awesome.
Good.
Okay. So have you heard what I just said as far as the link's going to be the same every week and all that stuff? For Mastermind?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and I am recording this one so that we can go back and watch it. And Jennifer, with her broken phone, hopefully we can get that fixed and she can watch this too and be part of this next week. So we're going to, with this group, with you guys, I want to look at our training. I want to look at our weekly success event because I feel like there's maybe a little bit of a gap as to a gap that we can close to make our success events more successful for you and more successful for our guests who come and in getting guests there as well. So, Kate, are you eating Dairy Queen in front of us? It looks so good.
Yes, I
Okay,
am.
so here are some
That's why
things.
I was late.
Oh, that's okay. Here are some things just to jot down at the very beginning of our meeting. The first thing we're going to look at with our meetings is location. I just jotted down a few things for us to discuss, and we're going to dive into these later. So the 4 topics I have down are location, training, live events, and themes. And by themes, I mean, do we need a theme every week? For a while, we did, I don't know, maybe it was the second Tuesday of the month, we celebrated anybody who had a birthday that month. We've done themes before where every week was something different, and it was like one week might be an eye cream social, one week might be hot lips and tips, one week might be all about the eyes, and we did false eyelashes. Or we could do something like one of the things Roya does is she does a sequence every month where like the first week is they do a regular skincare class. The second week of the month they do color. The third week they do a skincare class again, and the fourth week it would be casual only. And she actually does her casual only event as consultants only, and they have a meal together as well because she said there's value in breaking bread together and eating together because it really promotes the camaraderie of the unit. So basically with those 4 things, the location, looking at the training, how we do training, how we can improve training, focusing on doing live events, and then whether or not we do themes. And the reason I put live events in there is because some directors, when I've talked to other directors who are adopting some of our consultants who live a distance away, they may only do a live event every other week, and on the opposite weeks they do a Facebook event. The Facebook event is training only, but again, that drops us back to only doing 2 live customer events a month. And I'm not sure I like that idea, but that's something we can talk about. Another idea with that is doing a Facebook live event for recruiting. And this is something that Brienne did. Brienne's the trip earning director in Roya's unit. And she did this a couple months ago, and I got to get on and shadow, and she shared the opportunity. Everybody in her area was able to invite people on. So it was a private Facebook event that was live, and you could invite anybody you want to get on this and watch Brienne, listen to Brienne, and they could ask questions. It was just kind of like a career chat, but it was hundreds of people, and it was Brienne talking on Facebook. And everybody typed in their comments. But one of the things she did for that was she had the other directors ready, and they would answer questions as people typed them in or send encouraging things or whatever. It kept it going. But I will tell you guys, that month that she did that, her unit had 29 new consultants. That's not like Flash's unit, Val's unit, Debbie Lipnick's unit. They had people on too, and all of their consultants had people on too, but in Brienne's personal unit, they had 29 new agreements because of that live event. So that's something else I'm going to talk to you guys about as far as if we want to try to do some kind of Facebook live recruiting event. Okay, so just with a few minutes, your first thoughts on those topics, and we're going to kind of dive into them more. But give me some feedback right off the bat.
When you're talking about location, are you talking about the Lima?
Well, all of them. Do we like how we're doing it with every other week? Right now, what we're going to do for August is every other week is at my house, and then the opposite weeks are in Lima. Because I know, Terry, for you, driving to Dina's is a long way.
Yeah.
And for Jennifer and Misty, like all of you guys in that area, driving to Dina's is a really long night for you guys, and so it's really hard to get guests there. So looking at, do we want to do my house every other week and Lima on the opposite weeks? Do we want to not do Lima and just do my house every single week? Do we want to do Lima once a month? Do we not want to do my house at all and do Lima all the time? Kind of like if we were going to start from scratch, how would you design it? The only thing I would say that we can't do at this point is we can't have our own studio. Like I have searched high and low in every town worth driving to, and there's no place to rent that would be affordable and professional in this area. We have found some places that we could rent that were unprofessional. We found places that we could rent that were professional, but we would go broke renting them. We have found places that are professional that we probably could afford, but they were upstairs. We used a place upstairs above Main Street in Salina for a long time, and the steps were super steep. There was no wheelchair accessibility, and it was on Main Street in Salina, which made parking horrific, especially in the wintertime. So
Yes.
our options right now are going to probably be the church and here. If we wanted to, we could maybe ask Deb, and team up and use her house sometime. But again, then that ends up being like, that's 45 minutes for me. That's probably 45 minutes for Kate. So we need to find a happy medium here.
45 minutes to where?
To Deb's house. If we would do it at Deb's house in Ottoville.
Oh, yeah. I don't mind the way we're doing it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, going to the church is fine with me.
Okay.
Because I definitely don't want to do the upstairs thing again.
That was awful, isn't it? I mean, you needed oxygen by the time you got to the top of the steps. It was ridiculous.
I did.
Oh, well, you were the only one. We all did. If we keep doing it the same way we've been doing it, I'm going to write this down. One of the things I would love to improve about the church is to make the room that we meet in with guests more inviting. And that could be posters, that could be tablecloths on all of the tables. Something to me when we walk in, it's because it's those concrete block walls. I mean, they're painted really nice, but I still feel like it's kind of a stark room. And so again, that's where this comes in as a group discussion, so we all have input into it. And maybe, this week, if you guys are part of other groups or have friends who are consultants in the other areas, if you want to ask them, hey, tell me about your meetings. What are they like? What's the location like? Send me some pictures of stuff, whatever. I mean, 4 minds are much better than mine. And so that's why we're doing this mastermind group.
Instead of the consultants going to the chapel, because the chapel is more inviting than the stone walls in the other room, why don't we just switch it? Have the guests go to the chapel, because that is a more warmer environment.
What about the lighting in there? Is the lighting okay?
Oh,
I think it's too dark.
yeah, it would be too dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't get the full effect of their makeovers.
Ideally, we could, in our perfect world, we would have like those dividers that we could put up in that big room and cut it in half. When I first started my business in Salina, they met at, it's now the Best Western. It was a Holiday Inn, and their big breakfast room is where we met, and they had one of those like pull along door kind of things, and so you could separate. That would be perfect. But
I almost think that room is big enough. Like, if, the way tables are arranged, just putting the guests in the back.
Okay.
And then keeping us all up front, closer together, all at one table. When we're in the chapel, we're all spread out. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Maybe we could sit at a regular table and
we just have to make sure we keep the noise down then.
Sit closer together, and we don't have to talk loud if we're, all sitting.
Right. And we've also done it where we've gone out into the lobby. I don't know, Terry, if you've been there when we've done that, but there's like a lobby that's kind of, if you go past the chapel, past the room where we meet, there's like further on down, there's a lobby, and there's some couches up there. Again, the lighting isn't good to do makeovers out there, but we could do that out there. The other thing to think about too, we don't have as many options when we do it at my house, but for the meeting at the church, do we want to keep the tables in a U shape, or would we rather have them in rows where they would face the front of the room? We would just switch them back at the end of the night. I know a lot of areas, they do more row type seating, and if you're a red jacket, your guests get the front table. And if you're not, then you get back, and it's just kind of elevating the red jackets a little more and kind of recognizing them a little bit more because they're mid-level management. Now, we need red jackets to be able to do that, guys. So what do you think about the layout of the room?
I don't like the U shape because when we have a lot of people there, someone has to have their back to the speaker.
Okay.
So I don't care for the U shape myself.
Okay. Terry, what'd you say?
I don't like the U shape either.
Okay.
As you know, when I first started, I felt very uncomfortable in that.
In the U shape?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you think rows would be better?
Probably.
I think so.
I think, well, like in groups like that, I don't know. It's easier to get to know people if you're sitting closer. Like
Okay.
I feel you shape. Everybody is get to know. You know.
Yeah. Because when there's so few people and we've got this big U, there's like chair, space, chair. And that's not exciting to walk into either as a guest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So this week, I want to cut this short, like I said, because it's the first one. Kate, I was telling Terry before you got on that I have signed up right now for the free Zoom account. There's one that I can pay for, but I wanted to try it out for free for a while first. And I can only have a meeting that's 40 minutes long. So that for sure will give us a time limit, but I wanted to try to keep it to 30 tonight just because it's the first one. Okay. But
Sure.
So this week, if you guys could kind of brainstorm with me still, the locations, and if we keep the same layout, our house church, we're totally fine with that. I love having you guys in my home. I love my family seeing our unit grow, and I love you guys seeing my family, because I think that's important, especially for guests to be like, oh, you can work this at home. That being said, though, I don't want that to sway a decision. So if you guys are like, you know what, it really sucks having it at your house, then we can change it, and it's not going to hurt my feelings either, because this is a group discussion here, okay?
Cabinet at your house.
Do what?
I like.
Okay, Kate, say that again because you cut out for me. I don't think my internet's super fast right now.
Deb, I think she did.
Are you there?
We're
Are you
here.
there? Okay.
Okay.
We lost you for a moment.
Oh.
I'm going to call you Elsa, Deb, because you keep freezing.
Oh.
I like it at your house. I feel like it's warm, it's inviting, it's family oriented, and it's comfortable.
It's everything this business is about, centering it around the kitchen table and working it for your family, and all like that. And like you said earlier, the guests can see that when they come.
Right.
So that they can see, well, hey, yeah, I don't have to leave my kids for hours on end every night and to work this business. I can work it and still be at home with my family.
Exactly. Okay. So next Monday, let's kind of keep that discussion going. Even if you guys have ideas for me to improve the layout here at my house too, let me know, because I'm open to anything. I want to discuss too, over the next couple of weeks, training topics. in the past, we've done anything under the sun. And sometimes we have a training schedule where week 1, we talk about this, week 2, whatever, we can come up with a schedule. For me, one thing I try to do, I think I shared this with Jennifer once. When I'm in charge of training, I try to hit business training, like product training, some concept training as far as increasing your sales or referrals or something like that, plus some kind of leadership training. So I try to incorporate, I don't always do that. I don't always hit the nail on the head, but every week that's my goal, is to touch on those 3 things, because I have to keep in mind too, we've got different personalities. And so I need to hit different personalities and different things that everybody's going through. So that's something to look at in our training. I'm going to be asking for you guys even to possibly over the next couple of months do some of our training. Like if somebody has a fantastic idea of, like we had Phyllis when she shared about her customer sales a couple weeks ago, things like that, because it's great to feed off of other people, not just the directors all the time. You guys have a wealth of knowledge, but also it's empowering to you as a future leader of our unit and of your own unit to begin to develop those skills. And by sitting and taking notes every time, yes, you're gaining skills, but not necessarily putting them into practice by doing that. So I want to allow you more chances to be able to do that. So talking about that, we'll also talk in the next couple weeks about, do we want to do one of those live events, Facebook live events? Oh, I've got 10 minutes and it's going to cut me off. Otherwise I have to pay for the collect call. We'll also want to talk about themes and if we want to do some sequence stuff. I do think, we're open to whatever. If we want to do, whatever. Like I've even have director friends who once in a blue moon, they do an 80s night theme and everybody dresses in like 80s clothes and leg warmers and frizzy hair, and they do blue eyeshadow and crazy makeup. We can do whatever, but if we do a theme, I want to make it fun, because there's been times before at Halloween, like we'll do everybody wear your Halloween costume, and then it comes time to the night and nobody wants to show up in a Halloween costume. And so like, what's the fun of trying to plan an event if we all bail on that at the last minute? So I want to look at some ideas like that too. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Do you guys have
Sounds
questions
good
on any of that stuff? No?
No,
So tomorrow night, just kind of to touch base for tomorrow night, the event is here. It's going to be just us, like the usual crew. As of this point, I was telling Terry, Kate, before you got on, Terry just volunteered to be the photographer, just because I said, what are you going to do tomorrow night? But I don't have any other help yet. As of yet, nobody has volunteered. I know Jane will be on vacation. She's the only person I've heard from anything. So I'm looking for help with, actually, I'm going to do the welcome tomorrow. But I could use help with registration and closing and all of that stuff as well. Okay. So think about it. And I did review you guys' sheets from seminar.
Okay.
I'll give you those back because I know you took the notes that you wanted to keep on there.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll send you a text as to which I can do to help for tomorrow, because I see we're running out of time.
Okay, sounds good. So, and if you guys have a notebook that you want to start for our mastermind stuff to keep notes in it, that would be awesome. So, okay?
Okay.
All right, you guys. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, Debbie. Thanks.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.